I'm currently the Group CEO of Precise Financial Systems, and Precise Financial Systems is one of the leading software houses in Africa. We have clients and operations today in about 50 countries of the world, all over Africa and in Europe and in the US. So in a way, we can say that we have a measure of success, and I have had the privilege of leading this company for over 31 years now. But there are seeds that have germinated into whatever we become. And some of these seeds were planted by some very great men and women. And I want to talk about one of them today. I want to talk specifically about Mr. Orofin, who was my maths teacher. I think I was in Form 4 when, Form 4, Form 3, when he came himself with three other colleagues of his. That was Mr. Audushola, that was Mr. Akinka, and that was Miss Ogbango, who had just come fresh from the US. They were just fresh. They were graduates. I think they were probably working already, but they came back to Nigeria fresh from the US. And I remember the day Mr. Orofin was introduced to us in the assembly grounds by Mr. Iweha. And Mr. Iweha said, Mr. Orofin is a very important member of staff. He'll be teaching physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. You know, I looked at him, I looked at all of them anyway. I liked all of them. But it turned out that I was blessed to have been taught mathematics by Mr. Orofin. And I remember, I think it was teaching mathematics at O levels, and I think it taught biology at A levels. But I was in O levels at the Federal Government College Ugumosho, and they taught me mathematics. For reasons, maybe I was good in maths, and so he liked me. And it was just one teacher I liked, I loved, and I was close to him. I remember at that time the school was new, so they didn't have staff quarters for everybody, so they were living in town. And during weekends, I would go to his house, and he would we would eat there with my friends, and we talked, and he guided us, taught us many things. A lot of things I admired about him. There was a way he was young at that time. The last time I saw him, he's older now, over 70 something now, but he was young and he walked with a spring at that time. Very well dressed at that time, and every time he solved a problem in math, he would end by, "It is very easy. It is very easy." So that was his attitude. But one of the things I also observed, fantastic work ethic. There were other teachers, but he took the work beyond the ordinary teacher students. He showed interest in the number of us and ensured that we got the best. But one of the important things that I want to say today, and why I pay tribute to Mr. Orofin, is at the time we were about to start filling JAM forms, I thought I was good in maths. So I said I was going to study mathematics in the university. It was my best subject. And I told, Yele-Okeremi, so what are you going to do? And I said I was going to do mathematics. He said, no. There's a new course. It's called computer science. I'd never heard about computer science in my life. But I was fascinated by the idea. And because he said it, I trusted him. And that was the first time in my life I ever heard of computer science. It wasn't popular at that time. And he said to me at that time, he said, that's the course of the future. So when I got home, I wanted to fill my JAM form. And I was filling, my dad was with me. And my dad asked me, what was I going to study? I said I was going to study computer science. Of course, my dad was very educated as well, very well exposed, top civil servant. But he had never heard about computer science before. What he had wanted me to do was engineering. He wanted me, civil engineering, that was the popular one at that time, or mechanical engineering. Those were the popular ones at that time. I said, why not civil engineering? In any case, they knew I was never going to study medicine. Because at that time, a number of the teachers that had never taught me thought I was going to study medicine. But I knew I was never going to study medicine. I wasn't ever going to be good as a doctor because I'm one of those scarecrows that I I cannot even stand where they are killing the chicken, even up till today. But with my engineering, my mathematics, I was confident. So that was how I spoke about computer science with my dad. And I said I wanted to do computer science with mathematics. And it was my dad that said, computer science, mathematics, and don't you think these two are too related? That's so they said, why don't you do with economics? And that's how I did computer science with economics. Now the rest is history. The rest of whatever success. But you see, the success that Mr. Orofin has is not in me. It's in several thousands of people all over the world that have also gone through me. In fact, yesterday I experienced it again. A friend and I caught up at Marriott, at the Marriott in Ikeja. You know, we just chose we usually do that from time to time. Sit down over lunch, and whilst we were just today, two young men came and approached me, and came to greet me, introduce themselves, and said, "Oh yes, you are our mentor. We want to be like you," and so on and so forth. So those are actually like Mr. Orofin's grandchildren, and I say, Mr. Orofin, I thank you very much for what you have done. And well, I trust that you're already being rewarded. Your children definitely must be doing very well. I pray that, of course, you enjoy the fruits of your labor. They say the teacher's reward is in heaven. I want you to have yours, yes, in heaven, but start enjoying it here on earth. I also remember that apart from being the math teacher, I think, if I recall, I think he started the press club at Federal Government College, Ogumosho, you know, and that's how a number of people began to learn to write. So you see, the man was a mathematician, was a science-oriented person, but again, he's influenced a lot of people. I can mention a few names who became interested in the press club, people like Andrew Noah and so on and so forth, who today they are lawyers, but they are also products of Mr. Orofin. So again, I say, Mr. Orofin, let me remove my cap now and say thank you very much.